in actuality, we were nations. When Columbus came in 1492, there were 5 million Tainos throughout the Caribbean. 27 years later, when he left, there were only 50,000. Back in the 1500s, there were only 2 Taino queens. Anacaona was born in 1474. She was the first person to go up against colonialism. She was the queen of the Tainos in Hispaniola. When Columbus came on his second voyage, Ovando became the governor. He said he's going to teach the Taino people once and for all. Because all of the Taino villages loved Anacaona, they had her invite 80 of their chiefs to dinner to welcome the new governor. Well, unfortunately, they burnt them alive to show the villages who was boss. And Ovando did that throughout the whole of Hispaniola. And then he had a mock trial, and he hung her at age 29. That's the only way he could take over her village. The Taino queen of Puerto Rico. She married one of the Spaniards to save her village. A village on an average held 3,000 Tainos. So she did not want the Spaniards to kill her people, so she ended up being the wife of a Spaniard. But a twist of fate had it that her village saw her as a hero, but the other Taino people saw her as a traitor, and they got together and they killed her. So even though she was a hero to some, she was a traitor to many. Today, there is an area in Puerto Rico that is named after her, Luisa Aldea. That is the area when Spain released the slaves and the Taino people, the Africans and the Taino that were slaves. They put them in an area which they call now Luisa Aldea. They put them by the sea. So what they figured, well, if we put them there, we know they're not going to run away. And it's our weakest flank of defense, so they will help us fight against the enemy that came in. Well, today they realize that because the Africans mingled with the Taino people, married the Tainos, they taught them how to swim, they taught them not to be afraid of the water. So now when you go to Puerto Rico, Luisa Aldea in 2013 still has the highest number of African Tainos living there. They started to dig. They found out that it was in fact an ancient Taino village. Now I have had people say to me, how do you know it was a Taino village? How do you know it wasn't Carib? How do you know it wasn't Awa? The pottery that they did, the carvings and the colors on the pottery, which is red and white for the Taino people, that proved to them that it was a Taino village. If you come to a place, did you discover that there were people living there? When the Carib Indians came in, they fought the Taino people. They didn't bring their village to the Caribbean. They traveled by canoe.